One TV special report.
In conflict areas, as per report, there are already more than 5,000 barangays or reportedly clear. Yung mga dati pong barangay influence ng communist insurgency, and the Jeddah areas, where more than 7,000 barangays are listed in 2023 as per Department of Health. And the informal settlements, where one-third of the poor are in the urban areas. So ito po yung nakikita namin ng mga focus areas. And the local government units know better who are the poor and where are they. Mas kayo po yung nakakita sino ba talaga itong mahirap na to at nasaan ba sila. And looking at the poverty data, as of 2023, the national poverty incidence stands at 15.5%, equivalent to approximately 17.4 million individuals of 2.99 million families living below the poverty line. This is according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. The target of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is to reduce poverty incidence to single digit by 2028. Ang tanong, kaya po ba natin ito? At sino po ba ang may kaya? Poverty incidence is measured by territory, national, regional, local. This means that at the average, each LGUs shall target 50% poverty reduction from the baseline in 2021. We are on track in reducing poverty incidence to 2.6 percentage point in 2023. And we are glad to note that the recent data from PSA reported that more than 800 LGUs reduced poverty incidence. So maybe 800 LGUs po yung bumaba na ang poverty incidence from 2021 to 2023. Another question, do we have budget for poverty reduction? Meron po ba tayong budget para tulungan yung mga pangangailangan at yung mga programa natin? The National Anti-Poverty Commission, in consolidating its National Poverty Reduction Plan, accounted the poverty-focused programs of 27 national government agencies. In 2023, we accounted for more than 600 billion. In 2024, more than 677 billion. In 2025, almost the same value in 2024. At ngayon kung 2026, mas malaki yung budget dahil yung allocation for flood control projects ay na-refocus sa education, health, and agriculture, and that's why we are expecting more budget for poverty reduction. And we can say that despite issues and concerns on corruption and scandals in public infrastructure, we were able to continuously reduce poverty incidence because of this dedicated budget allocation for poverty reduction. Now, nasaan po yung mga budget na yan? Ang National Anti-Poverty Commission po is a coordinating body, we are not implementing body, but ang mga budget po ito ay nandoon sa ating mga national government implementing agencies. Like DOLE, DSWD, DAR, DA, DNR, and other agencies. Paano po natin ito maisasalba? Lagi po pong ginabanggit ang isang formula ginagamit ngayon ng Department of Social Welfare and Development. Ang target natin ay zero hunger. Yung pong DSWD ay merong budget binibigay ngayon ng 3,000 per month per poor family considered as food poor. 3,000 a month. Ngayon po, ang target ay inabot na ng 600,000 families. As per data ng PSA, ito po ay 740,000 ang poor families. Sabihin na natin, 1 milyong pamilyang Pilipino ang Dilaw Food Pool Family at nagbibigay ang DSWD ng 3,000 per month. That's only 3 billion a month. Times 12, that's only 36 billion a year. And if that will be effective and will address hunger at ma-address natin yung food pool, yung ibig kong sabihin kaya natin i-arrest ang hunger before the end of the term of the President. Imagine 3 years continuous grant of 3,000 per month for the food poor families. Siguro naman ay mawawala ang gutom sa mga pamilya. This is just one example of our poverty reduction program and only at the SWD. Marami pa pong mga magagandang programa na ito ay programa ng ating Pangulo. Our gathering today is a testament for a pivotal moment last year when NAPSI had to clarify the situation with the representatives in Congress. Sabi po ni Senator Subiri ay isinagawa ang ating mga anti-poverty summit para sa ngayon ay magkaroon tayo ng assessment at magawa natin yung mga kailangang hakbang para ma-reduce ang poverty. We reported last year that Bukidnon has the highest number of poor families in the region. Lanao province has the highest poverty incidence, and we are glad to know that our lawmakers and our local chief executives are very sensitive to this data. And of course, they don't want that their province or their municipalities will be considered poorest. We understand that. But there is data that we should address. And kami po ay tinatawag sa Kongreso ng ating mga congressman from Bukidnon, and we clarify that the data is derived from the PSA survey, and the population of Bukidnon is too large compared to other provinces. Even though there is lower poverty incidence, the number of population has also yield the number of poor families. And tatalakayin po ng DepEd at ng ating provincial government ang poverty situation dito sa region at sa ating mga local government units. We are grateful that this experience has led to greater awareness, stronger coordination, and a more proactive approach. Today, we come together not merely to correct numbers, but to correctly respond to them, transforming poverty reduction into a shared regional mission. This year's theme, from plans to people, advancing economic transformation and poverty reduction towards a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient Northern Mindanao by 2028, reminds us that development cannot remain confined to strategies, frameworks, or budget lines. Sabi ni Governor Minal, dapat merong impact, hindi lang dokumento, hindi lang plano. Plans only matter when they translate into real improvements in people's lives. When people have stable livelihoods, farmers have access to markets and support services, workers have decent and secure jobs, and families are protected from shocks brought by disasters, health crises, and economic uncertainty. As we move forward, let this summit be a turning point, not just plans and policies, but in action and accountability. The national government agencies, local governments, civil society, and communities work together where progress becomes possible and sustainable. Let us commit to data-driven, people-centered, and inclusive solutions so that no family in Misamis Occidental and no Filipino is left behind. Kami po ni Governor Minal ay nakikita sa iba't ibang okasyon sa Metro Manila. But this is the first time that I met him here in Misamis Occidental. Kaya maraming salamat po, Governor, and yung unang aksyon laban sa kahirapan na ipinalabas po namin sa Channel 4 ay ginawa po dito sa Misamis Occidental with the cooperative and the municipality of Mayor Darwin. At I understand Mayor Darwin already initiated the formulation of the local poverty reduction action plan where all other LGUs can partner in respective LPRAs. Maraming salamat po, and with this summit mark the beginning of deeper collaboration and lasting impact. Sama-sama po tayong umaksyon laban sa kahirapan tungo sa isang bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Secretary Santos, for your insightful and inspiring message and for your sharing with us your valuable perspectives in advancing poverty reduction and inclusive development. As a gesture of sincere appreciation, may we now invite our keynote speaker, Secretary Lope Santos III, to please be on stage, giving a certificate of appreciation and token. And let me read the citation. We also would like to request our governor and the chairperson and also our vice chair, Representative Myla Calino, that will read the citation. So this certificate is presented in grateful recognition and sincere appreciation of his invaluable contribution as a keynote speaker during the Anti-Poverty Summit 2026 for the province of Misamis Occidental, for delivering an inspiring and meaningful message that strengthened our collaborative commitment toward poverty reduction, inclusive development, and sustainable progress. Signed, of course, by our Governor of Misamis Occidental, Noble Henry Sibilio Lumina. Once again, daghang salamat. Thank you so much, Secretary Lope B. Santos. And at this point, we are honored to hear a video message of support from the Honorable Senator of the Republic of the Philippines, Juan Miguel F. Zubiri. We will now request everyone's attention to please listen as we play the video message.
I would like to thank and congratulate the Region 10 Office of the Department of Economy, Planning and Development for organizing this timely and much-needed anti-poverty summit. From experience, I can say that anti-poverty summits play a critical role in aligning government agencies towards a single shared objective, reducing poverty amongst our people. In Bukidnon, the results spoke for themselves. Between the anti-poverty summits held in 2016 and in 2019, poverty incidences dropped from being a high of number 7 of most number of poverty incidences in 2015 to number 25 in 2018 and 2021. I firmly believe that those summits helped drive that improvement. This is why I'm hopeful that this year's summits across Northern Mindanao will generate the same momentum and outcomes. Northern Mindanao holds a tremendous potential, and we are seeing major infrastructure developments, growing tourism opportunities, and increasing interest from investors, from our Southeast Asian neighbors to partners in Europe. But progress cannot be measured by infrastructure and investments alone. Real development means building fair and inclusive systems that allow our people to uplift themselves out of poverty. And I look forward to what this year's Anti-Poverty Summit will deliver as we continue the fight against poverty and inequality. So, daghang salamat, and let us keep pushing for a better, stronger, and prosperous Northern Mindanao.
So at this point, to give us the summit overview and the rationale and also the economic and poverty situation are the Northern Mindanao Regional Development Plan for 2023-2020 midterm update and the poverty reduction targets, please help me welcome the Regional Development, the Regional Director of the DepDev Region 10 and also the Vice Chairperson of the Regional Development 10, Director Myla Faye Aurora Bincarini.
Maayong buntag kanatong tanan. Sa dili pa ko magsugod, we would like the Department of Economy and Development Regional Office 10, the family of Governor Henry Waminal and of the province of Misamis Occidental, we would like to express our deepest condolences to the province and to the leadership of the province because of what happened last Friday. Even with what happened, and even if your hearts are bleeding because of the tragedy, we're all here because for the living, the show must go on. So kita naghihatagan sa pribilehiyo na musilbi sa atong katawhan, we are here. And thank you po for being here and for showing what leadership is in the most difficult of times. So si Gov was our chair, was appointed as our chair last year. And we worked with him since his appointment. And our RDC10 first meeting, we got a glimpse of his leadership style. And when we did our planning for the year sa among office, the word that we use, our word of the year is letter I. That nag-start sa letter I. Intentional. Because Governor Henry Waminal is the very personification of the word intentional. In all of his actions, in all of his plans, he pursues it with great intent and deliberation. So when he became RDC chair, he asked me, what is the situation of Region 10? And I told him that Region 10 is one of the fastest growing regions in the country. But even with that performance, I told Go that our growth has not really translated into very meaningful poverty reduction. In some areas of Region 10, we can see that poverty has reduced considerably. But there are many areas in the regions where poverty continues to persist. Once again, ay buntag ka natong tanan, kung ang akong pagtakod ug paggiubo kang Governor Henry Waminal, kang Secretary Lopez Santos, sa akong mga kauban, mga regional directors, sa atong members, sa atong provincial sanggunian, sa atong mga mayor kaninyong tanan. Next slide. So, nga naata karon ng adlaw, what is the reason nga naata din? Because we want to become more intentional in our efforts to reduce poverty. And being intentional means we have to hold everyone accountable for this effort to reduce poverty. Because the kind of development that we want for Region 10 is not only sustainable, but inclusive. Kung ingon ganit ang inclusive development, it's a development where everyone benefits. And how do we know that everyone benefits from this development? Makita nato kung ang atong poverty, ato yung mapakundol. Next slide, please. So last year, during his first meeting as RDC chair, Governor Waminal supported the anti-poverty drive of Senator Mig Zubiri because it really resonated with him and his mass ascenso agenda for Region 10. And so we passed this resolution, no? we passed this resolution informing everyone that we will be conducting anti-poverty summits in all of the provinces of Region 10. December to, January nanungkad, February, we're having all of these summits. And you might ask, why do we have to have these summits in the first quarter of the year? And it's primarily because every first quarter of the year, the regional line agencies, government-owned and controlled corporations, and all government instrumentalities will be preparing and finalizing their budget proposals. Dili na pareho og timeline ang local government units o ang regional line agencies. Maunami. First quarter, muna hisutanan in the RDC ang mga budget proposals. Because by the second quarter, we will submit it to the agency central offices and also to agency central offices para mahimong input sa pag-prepare sa President's budget, which we call the National Expenditure Program. So kung dili nato buhaton karon nga quarter, dito na nato buhaton sa second o sa third quarters, we will not be able to submit our critical proposals for the fiscal year 2027 budget preparation. And also because we want to know kung sa mga budgets na pwede i-accommodate kung sa ang mga projects na pwede i-accommodate karon sa atong mga ahensya, kung unsa ang pwede natin ma-recommend for 2027. Next slide. So this is a platform for discussion. Naa ang atong anti-poverty czar, ang atong secretary of the NAPC, naa ang atong RDC chair, naa ang atong mga regional line agencies, naa pamangani ang atong mga regional directors, naa ang mga provincial actors, but most importantly, naa ang mga municipal mayors nato, who are considered our frontliners when it comes to public service. Ug naa po ang atong sanggunian because kung sa ang kinahanglan na legislative support, they can already provide. Next slide. So really, ang atong gusto is a whole of nation approach. Dili enough ang whole of government approach. Because kung whole of government lang, meaning, kita lang na nasa gobyerno ang mulihok for poverty reduction. But everyone, including the private sector, must join government in these anti-poverty efforts. Next slide, please. So we should be able to identify ang atong mga strategies, ang atong mga proposed programs and projects, no? And then, unsa ang mga produce din ang atong report, but most importantly, unsa ang commitment sa mga munisipyo in terms of poverty reduction. Si Gov na siya commitment daan. He would really bring down to a single-digit level by 2028 ang poverty sa Misamis Occidental. But the question is, for Gov Henry to reduce poverty at the provincial level, very important that the municipalities will have their own respective poverty targets by 2028. Naalaman ang sa province, ang sulod mo kaya, ang munisipyo. But most importantly, the question is, kung muni target ni Misamis Occidental, mauni ang mga targets sa mga munisipyo, unsay atong amay buhaton para makabot ang targets. It's one thing na mag-target, but most importantly, ang pinaka-importante na pangutana, dili lang og unsay target, kundi unsay kinahanglan natong buhaton at the regional, provincial, and local level para makabot ang atong targets. Next slide. Okay, next slide. Di na natin kaason. Next slide, please. Next slide. So, paila-ila lang, no? Ang among opisina na change ang ngalan from the NEDA, National Economic and Development Authority, we are now known as the Department of Economy, Planning and Development, or DepDev. But our agency is not a young agency. Our agency is actually 90 years old. We were created on December 23, 1935 by virtue of Commonwealth Act No. 2 that created the National Economic Council. So that was our foreparent, the National Economic Council. And the NSC has evolved, and in 1972, by virtue of Presidential Decree number 2, the NSC became the National Economic Development Authority. Economic development nga ang iyan gitanaw. But by 1973, ang National Economic Development Authority nahimong National Economic and Development Authority to take into consideration the other dimensions of development. Then we became DepDev last year by virtue of RA 12145 signed on April 10. Next slide. But ang DepDev, duha ka bukiyang personality, DepDev as an agency, and DepDev as the highest policy-making body of the country. But it's no longer called the DepDev Board, kaysa una NEDA Board man. It's now known as the Economy and Development Council and headed by the President, and these are the members of the ED Council. Next slide. At the regional level, ang ED Council is the Regional Development Council. Now, and by virtue of Executive Order number 82, accelerating socio-economic development and strengthening RDCs, last year, na-transform po ng atong Regional Development Councils kay naay nadugang ng mga ahensya. Next slide. So, dinhi sa Region 10, paila-ila na mo, these are your officials. The chair is no less than your very own Governor Henry Waminal. And the co-chair is a private sector. Kaya para balanse, government and private sector. Si Sir Ralph Pagyo. No? And he is the co-chair of the Social Development Committee. Kami ni ERD, we are ex-officio officers of the RDC. Kay during an election year, mu-end naman ang term. So Governor Waminal's term will end on June 30, 2028 without prejudice of being reappointed. Kaya sure naman ni Governor Daugig ka ang election ko. So, without prejudice for reappointment, so mu-end yun ang term ni Gov, mu-end sa ang term ni Sir Ralph Pagyo, pero ang trabaho sa RDC magpadayon. Maunang na ay Vice Chair, nagyapon ang Secretary. Caretaker me until such time that the President appoints the Chair and Co-Chair. Next slide. In Region 10, we take pride in the fact that our governors and our city mayors are very actively involved in the work of the Regional Development Council. So these are our sector committee chairs, no? Walay mga agenda items musulod sa RDC kung dili hisgutan sa atong mga sectoral committee chairs. Si Gov. Juliet, ang Social Development Committee Chair, si Gov. O'Neil Roque, ang chair sa Infra, si Mayor Frederick Xiao, ang chair sa Econ, o si Governor XJ, who's also a lawyer like Governor Waminal, ang chair sa Macro DevAl Committee. Next slide. Muni ang mga committees, no, that work for the RDC. Makita ninyo sa ubos, dili lang ang 4 sectoral committees, naapakol ang uban ng mga affiliate or attached committees. Kay walay musulod, no agenda item will be discussed in the RDC if these are not vetted by the appropriate committees. Next slide. So what is our progress as a region? So I reported this to Governor Henry when he assumed as chair. Next slide. So our economy remains strong. And in fact, we grew from 5.2% in 2023 to 6% in 2024. We met our target. But most importantly, in 2024, for the first time in the history of Region 10, we became a trillion peso economy. Unang maingon si Gov na sa iyang panahon, mas asenso ang iyang agenda. Kaya asenso man ka. Ang iyang gusto sa iyang term, mas mo asenso ka. So there are only 6 regions in the country that has a trillion peso economy. Number 1, of course, NCR. And and this is followed by Calabarzon and Central Luzon. If you add the contributions of NCR, Calabarzon, and Central Luzon, they already make up 57% of the economy of the country. More than half of our economy comes from them. And then of course, Central Visayas, pero karon duha na naman ang province Cebu and Bohol. But their contribution is 5.7%. Mindanao contributes 10% to the economy of the country, pero dili entire Mindanao, duha ka regions. Combined, Region 9, Region 11, and Region 10, we contribute 10% to the economy of the country. So all these 6 regions, kung imong tanawon, they contribute more than 72% to the economy of the country. Next slide. So if you look at this is our growth rate. Muling ingon ni Gov, mga angay na itong pananginan pa. Na ay mga datos, no, kung atong tanawon, sakit. Kaya bisan pa man sa atong paningkamot, naagihapon yung mga gaps, but we have to confront, no, these issues head on.